Back in 2018, I decided to quit my full-time art director role, working for an advertising agency and start freelancing. And for what? I figured like my career wasn't really going anywhere working for an agency because for some reason I was living on this, common like scenario of like paycheck after paycheck, and I didn't have like anything left for me to explore my dreams and become whatever I wanted to become for the future. So I decided to quit for that reason. Number one, to just go out there and try to make more money. That was the only reason why actually I quit, because I realized like I could make so much more money as I could look for my own client out there in the marketplace. So I took the leap, quit, and started looking for clients. And for some reason, I wasn't lucky. The first month in, I struggled a bit. Like for the first month, I struggled. Like I remember I had like a bit of runway, but this couldn't really help me sustain like my bills. And it was a bad timing. For some reason, even at the same time when I quit in the same month, my wife decided also to quit her job. So we went on this crazy frugal life of just like living below, like real below our means, like try to optimize our runway and survive. So this was really stressing. Like I hated the entire part of it, but for some reason there was only one skill that helped me back regain my groove. And till this day, I'm still winning. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that actually are important in now times. When you look at what's going on right now, like it might not be ideal to think of looking for a job. When 2020 decided to happen on all the entire world, man, like people got confused. Like we kind of like lost track of what was going on. Till this day, most people don't know what they should do, how they should survive, what should they learn, what should they, pivot towards. And that confusion, I understand, because I've been somehow in that confusion. Even still this day, I know for sure that, okay, like I am a professional, like I've built a body of work that can at least somehow attain some reputation that clients can come towards me. But the people out there that have no body of work, they have not worked on any projects, they have been under employment, and when this, situation happened, they lost all their jobs. So right now, I know those people are out there looking for any income skill they could really just start learning, and they don't have even like time to waste learning like months over months learning just a skill. So they just want to learn something quick and then move on to becoming an income earner within this income skill. And I want to share with you some of like I would say bulletproof skills that you could learn and that can at least rest you assured that you make a living in this crazy economy. I think it's of use to mention that the skills I'm about to share with you in this video are not something that I've picked online or read an article or something like that. These are skills actually that are core of my business, and these are the things that have helped me really survive days of like the crazy days of like 2020. And I'll tell you that this is something that has helped me really grow my business from $0 to somewhere. And I know 100% these skills are bulletproof, because for some reason, like even during the days of the pandemic or like the lockdown, I still got work coming my way. The only reason was like we had like this mental fog that no one was functioning. So it wasn't about like not work coming in, but it was like the delivery time that was kind of like hindered by my capability of production. So ideally work used to come in, but I couldn't really hit the deadline. So I limited the number of work that I was taking on during the lockdown. So that gives you some confidence that these skills are quite bulletproof, I would say. And yeah, so enough of that. Let's just dive into the two skills that I think would give you an edge in the industry. Whichever thing you do, like these are skills on demand. So skill number one is logo design. And I know 100% like there are so many other ways you can call logo design, but I wanted to keep the information so raw that like someone out there who doesn't know nothing about logo design, when they come approach this video, they can at least understand it. You can call it brand design, which That's the language I use when I'm talking to my clients. You can call it brand identity design, whatever you call it. So in this video, I wanted at least to go in depth and show you how you can earn money being a logo designer. So I just didn't want this video to be bullet points, say logo design, and then we'll move on to another bullet point. I just want to give you like what happens if you become a logo designer and how you become a logo designer. So we'll dive into that, and I show you step by step how you can become a logo designer and start making at least some like amazing income as a logo designer. And there are so many ways of becoming a logo designer. One, you could just start with free information, yeah, like just going like this video and watch this video and add something to your body of learning. And two, you can go on and pay for paid courses out there and start learning logo design. But I urge you to start with the free information. Like you can start with the free information, and as you progress and you feel like confident that this is something that interests you, then you can go take the leap and pay these paid courses. And the reason why I'm so 100% sure that this is a lucrative discipline, if you adapt logo design, you make so much money. Right now, people are stuck in their homes, and every individual out there just is thinking of like starting a new company. Like people are starting companies in their kitchens, so they'll approach logo designers to design them like that so-called brand identity. And I'm certain that there is much demand for logo design services. I've seen platforms like what do you call them, like what was it called, Fiverr. It's called Fiverr, yeah. Fiverr. We've seen this platform really skyrocket in terms of revenue, and this is a platform where people go to get work. However much I don't recommend it, but it kind of like gives you a market, standpoint of view, what's on demand right now. And when you look at their revenue going from like the previous years, and they hit this, whatever you call it, like a spike, it's so crazy that right now people are looking for freelance work. So if I can recommend one income skill that can get you, so quick out of the struggle, it's logo design. And I think I'll do a follow-up video, and I'll try to keep coming on this same issue of getting that income skill more often, because I know you might need more than one video to understand how to get into logo design. But that's skill number one, and it's so easy. It's so easy to learn. So easy to market yourself, and it's so easy to make so much money in the industry being a logo designer. And when you become a logo designer as a professional, you can at least maybe in the future start selling some other services within logo design, which is say brand design, which includes what you call it, like brand strategy, and what have you. Like there's so many things you can do in being a logo designer, and I recommend it 100%. This skill really sustained my life throughout the pandemic, and I think you will love it. It will really show up for you. So let's dive into skill number 2. Skill number 2 is web design. Same thing. I don't want to complex the language, so I've kept it web design. You can call it UI, UX, or product design. I call it product design in my business, but for the sake of this video, we'll keep it as web design, so that someone who's on the basic, level of understanding what's going on in this industry can at least understand what web and design is. So to give you an idea what exactly you need to be doing in web design and where the demand is right now. So I don't want you to start learning code, because there are some incredible no-code tools out there that can at least help you really start making money as soon as possible. And one of the tools that I use in my business is Webflow. So I use Webflow to develop the websites I design, say for example in Figma. That's it. That is it. I don't complex my workflow. When you're becoming a web designer, there are 2 scenarios that I want you to bear in mind when doing business with clients. Scenario 1 is when a client approaches you and they want you to design the website, and you hand over the design to their developers. And scenario 2 is when the client approaches you and they want you to design, develop, and do all the hosting, all the other work that gets a website up and running. So that's where actually I think the more money lies, if you to do the design and also do the hosting. And Webflow is a platform that can help you do all the hosting and the development. And still, if you learn good design, you can still make some money just doing the design. But I think scenario 2 is what I want you to put the effort on. Learn a software like Figma or Adobe XD, and this will give you an edge in the industry. And then focus on learning Webflow, because Webflow, I came across Webflow in 2015, and I knew this tool somehow was special, was magical, and it has helped me make a lot of money. So I recommend it. You should learn it. And it's not like those, easy wig tools that are like kind of like have that weird seal type of like drag and drop. Webflow is not that. It kind of like designs from like web standards or web rules and fundamentals. So I recommend it. I think it's something that can at least with speed help you really start making money like yesterday. The same thing applies to web design. I want you to start like maybe with the free information you can come across online, and later on when you gain some confidence that this is something that actually you will be willing to commit on full time, then you can go on to start paying for some paid information there. Because what you get to learn from paid information is like you learn from the pros, like people who have been in this industry, and that will give you an edge. But don't really go ahead, don't rush to pay, because you don't know whether this is something you will love, in the future. And yeah, so I want to give you like an overall understanding of how these two skills are really major. Like if you want like those two income skills that can at least take you from zero to somewhere, at least I recommend you learn them both instead of like focusing on one. I figured that it's so hard to sell one service, but if you bundle them, and when the client approaches you for one, you upsell the other. So if they say, if for example, like say they come for your website, you tell them like, yo, your brand identity is so way terrible. You need to rebrand. It's so easy because they trust you for the website, and then they can trust you for a logo. It's the same way, like it's just counterintuitive to have two. And I feel like it's a 360 approach that at least helps you give like a solution that will help your work stand out. But man, like look at this scenario where I've designed a good website, a functional website. I would use a better word, like a functional website, but then the brand identity is so off. Like I've been in those scenarios, and I don't want to even like come close to any of those scenarios. And that's how I run my business. That's my freelance business in a nutshell, like brand design, product design, or logo design, or web design. And I don't design mobile applications for some reason. Like I just don't like the entire flow of like designing mobile applications. But trust me, there is more to web design. You shouldn't really worry if mobile applications is your thing. There is more to web design. Like web applications are complex, and they need someone who understands at least a bit of how applications work. And then like the corporate websites, those are money maker, because like they don't take a lot of time. There are standards to those. So yeah, that's it for this video. I'm excited to answer any questions you have on these two skills. Just go ahead and like let me know what you want to know in the comment section. I'll be right on spot to answer whatever question you pose me. And yeah, just do the necessary. Just like hit the thumbs up, and then yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Before you go,